Hi, it's me. You've probably heard a lot about manifestation. It's that you can attract what you want into your life, like love, success, even health, by using certain affirmative thoughts, feelings, or techniques. There are so many books and programs out there right now promising to teach the secret of manifestation. I've actually tried a lot of these systems myself, some of them mystical, some spiritual, others completely practical. But honestly, most of them really didn't work for me, at least not in any lasting way. And the more I chased what I wanted, the more I started to wonder, what if what I wanted wasn't actually what I needed? That's when I stumbled onto something far more powerful than all those manifestation techniques put together. People call it grace, spiritual grace. Not just the word, but the very experience of grace. It's a quiet, gentle force that seems to show up when you let go, when you stop pushing, when you start trusting. Grace doesn't need you to get it right. You can't earn it. You don't have to fight for it. It just comes. It flows freely, lovingly, often in ways we don't expect and so couldn't possibly have planned or orchestrated. If you're in Alcoholics Anonymous or any 12-step program, or even if you know someone who's in one, you've probably heard the Serenity Prayer before. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, it may be short, but it's pretty deep. It speaks of acceptance, courage, and wisdom. Three things that come from trusting something bigger than ourselves. I didn't grow up going to recovery meetings, but I come from a family with a long history of alcohol addiction. Hundreds of years of Irish drunks. Well, my brother Terry was the one who broke that chain. He got sober through Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, and changed the direction of all our lives, including mine. Now, this video is not about AA. My brother's courage to stand up and face addiction straight on started me on my own spiritual path. And on that path, I've learned that we're all carrying deep beliefs of some type, stories we've picked up about ourselves and the world that simply aren't true. And those stories eventually become those beliefs. But letting go of them, those deeply ingrained beliefs, I believe it takes a miracle. And grace is that miracle. That doesn't mean we don't work at it, it just means we don't do it alone. First, let's all let go of what we may have come to believe about grace, just for purposes of this video. Grace can be defined simply as divine given blessing. That means it's not something we force or figure out. It's something we just receive. It's not always what we want or what we plan for, but it is always what we need. Let me tell you a story that shows this beautifully. There was a young woman, her name was Marjorie, and one night she had a really bad car accident. Her leg was seriously broken. It was a compound fracture. As she lay in the ambulance, being a fairly spiritual person, she prayed. She prayed with all her heart for a miraculous healing, which she believed in, that her leg would just heal instantly. She just wanted the pain to stop. But that didn't happen. Instead, she was taken by that ambulance to the hospital, where a kind and compassionate doctor took care of her. Over time, they got to know each other. And after she recovered and they were no longer in a doctor-patient relationship, he asked her out. And she said yes. Well, they fell in love, got married, had kids, and their kids had kids. They had been together for 49 years when one Thanksgiving, while doing dishes with her granddaughters, they asked her how she met their grandpa. And she told them about the accident and about how she prayed for a healing and for the pain to stop, and how it took a long time before she could walk normally again. And so one of the granddaughters asked her, "So your prayer wasn't actually answered?" Marjorie said, "Well, no, it didn't seem like it was. But, oh, honey, that was the best unanswered prayer of my life. You see, if I'd been healed in that moment, if I'd gotten what I thought I wanted, I never would have met your grandfather. And you and I, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now because you wouldn't be here." Well, that's grace. Spiritual grace. Things don't always come the way we want, but they always end up being exactly what we need, and usually something far better than we could have even imagined. Maybe take a moment after this video and think about your life. There's an old saying, the best things in life are free. Can you think of some seemingly accidental occurrence in your life that has ended up changing it for the better? When I did this simple exercise, I was able to find lots of things, in fact, the best parts of my life that I had absolutely nothing to do with. They just showed up. I guess I was just at the right place at the right time. Or there was a larger power at work, not some distant God up in the sky granting me wishes, but a natural flow of good that just found its way into my life, because love just does that. So if you've been chasing some dream or some outcome, trying hard to manifest it, maybe take a breath, maybe open the door to grace instead. More often than not, you will be opening a door to an amazing, unexpected blessing, far greater than what you originally wanted. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know all the answers. You just need a little trust, a little willingness, and a heart open enough to receive. Because when you let grace in, everything starts to change from the inside out, because you are changing. And as you change, the world around you begins to change too, and often to your benefit. Mahatma Gandhi, the great Hindu leader, once said, "As we change our own nature, the tendencies in the world will also change. This is the divine mystery supreme." Well, that's the real secret. And if you find this principle of trust and grace, you'll find that it also exists in all the world's great religions and spiritual teachings. In Christianity, for example, we hear that Jesus taught, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." In more modern words, put spiritual consciousness first. That's what the divine kingdom and righteousness means. Spiritual consciousness. And then everything else will be given to you, manifested through spiritual grace. So, if you're ready to manifest something truly meaningful in your life, don't worry so much about what you want. That may not be easy, but it is truly worth the effort. Like Marjorie, in the end, what you want may not be what you want at all. Not only that, your unwillingness To be open to an unexpected outcome may actually be blocking a better destiny for you. Instead, keep growing, keep showing up, keep opening your heart. Cultivate your spirituality. Be open to the power of grace. See you next time.